Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new Christian Whistleblower channel record. For the first time in history, ladies and gentlemen, we have a troll smacked, lit up, and banned before the show even started. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I'm ready to go now that I got to do that. Does that make me a bad person? Oh, well, I've been called a bad person before, and I'll be called a bad person again. But welcome to the Christian Whistleblower channel. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a story that I saw that says, and I quote, 2019 was a banner year for credible UFO sightings. I am Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and this is the Christian Whistleblower channel. I'm not going to read you this article. I don't do the read you articles thing, but we're going to hit it and we're going to talk about it. And then we're really going to talk about what we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Tracy Dyer is watching a hot guy coming out of a pool. Great. So anyway, here we go. And it's interesting because last night, the lovely and talented Cynthia said to me, you know, I just feel like there's something about to happen because there's so much UFO stuff going on. That was before I woke up and saw this article. I'm not really a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I'm here in Kansas. And this was a really nice garment, and it was on a super cheap sale at Costco. So here we are. I'm not against the Chiefs. I'm not really a fan, but if I watch, I'll watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go ahead and laugh. I know it is funny, but at least you know I'm loyal. So anyway, folks, and thank you for that, Lisa. 2019 was a banner year for credible UFO sightings coming from the New York Post. And that's part of the story, I think. And it's interesting that Cynthia had kind of that idea that, hey, there's a lot of this going on. Tracy Dyer's been talking about, hey, there's a lot of this going on. And, you know, it makes me wonder. And I wrote down some notes. And usually I try to transcribe them and get them on the screen first. So you'd always see me looking up, looking down. But this hit me right away. And New York Post, look at this headline. 2019. I'll show it to you, I guess. We'll show it so you can see I'm not just making it up. So what am I going to show you? I'll show you this. Here we go. 2019, a banner year for UFOs. This is the article I'm reading. It comes from the New York Post, and we're going to read it. And Vanna White is sharing an update on Alex Trebek's health too, but we don't care about Vanna White or Alex Trebek's health. I know that sounds, kind of mean, but anyway, I never even watched that show. But let's talk about 2019 being a banner year for credible UFO sightings. It's been a hell of a year, the article says, for unidentified flying objects. Once thought to be fictional works used to sell tabloids, 2019 has been awash with news of UFOs, aliens, and strange phenomenon, including reports complete with video from verifiably sane sources. Listen to this verbiage, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we will look at this a little more than I had planned to look at this, because look at this verbiage, ladies and gentlemen. Credible, the word credible UFO sightings. When was the last time we saw those three words strung together on a mainstream media outlet? Once thought to be fictional. Implication, obviously, is that now they're not fictional, coming from the mainstream media, and then including reports with video from verifiably sane sources. Listen to these statements about UFOs. Listen to these statements about ETs, if you will, from mainstream media sources. And then they go on in the next sentence to mention the Pentagon. And they even link the fact that this story here, that the Pentagon finally admits that it investigates UFOs.
Here at the Post, we're producing a video series on UFOs.
I don't care.
In our research, we reached out to the
Stop.
Pentagon.
Stop. Thank you. But look at that. The Pentagon finally admits that it's investigating UFOs. Whoops. Where did we go? Where did we go? The Pentagon admits that it's investigating UFOs. Navy pilots have claimed not only have seen them, listen to this language, not only have they seen them, but they've also recorded UFOs. And here's the link again. Navy pilots spotted flying UFOs at hypersonic speeds. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Another report, Popular Mechanics. Listen to this credibility, ladies and gentlemen. Took the data tapes away and wiped the memory from the Navy hard drive. Popular Mechanics, an unidentified flying object was captured on video. Oh, wait. We'll even show you the video of a UFO spotted over Carolina's Outer Banks. That's a nice sunset. And my flat earth friends are saying, look at the horizon, flat, flat, flat. And look at that, folks. Look at that. Look at that. What is that? By the way, it's over a flat ocean. I just want to point that out for a minute, and you'll see why later. Check that out. UFOs, ladies and gentlemen. UFOs with video over the Outer Banks. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a partnership between Blink-182 frontman Tom DeLonge and To the Stars Academy to research alien technology. And look, here's a link again. Army Times, dude, it's from the Army Times. Ooh, this is so credible. There's a lot of credibility. And ladies and gentlemen, we get more. Astronomers say humans finding aliens might take a long time, but you see, the implication is that it will happen. 2019, look at this statement. 2019 was a particularly active year for UFOs visiting Earth. Up until this report, we've pretty much been crazy for talking about UFOs. Up until this report, we've pretty much been kooks for talking about UFOs. And now, all of a sudden, and by the way, this is the razor used by your Christian whistleblower, but I don't get any money for them, so screw them if they don't give me any money. But anyway, 2019 was a particularly active year for UFOs visiting Earth. National UFO Reporting Center, giving them cred. It's just amazing to me that they're showing, if you're worried about your home state, a handy UFO hotspot infographic was created by satelliteinternet.com, which they'll even show you how to find out where the hotspots for UFO sightings are in America. Can we click on Kansas and see what it says? No, it doesn't link. But you could go to this and they will tell you, oh, most sightings. So these dark blue ones are the most sightings. So that's interesting. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Any people in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine seen UFOs? Washington State, Montana, Oregon. Interesting. Alaska. I didn't know Alaska was down there. It's not, Christians. It's up over here, but they're just putting it there so they can show it on the map. So don't worry, Christians. I'll explain things to you because I know you're used to having them explained. Idaho, Wyoming. That's interesting. Kansas, not so much. Nebraska. But is there even a person in Nebraska to see a UFO? There might be more UFOs in Nebraska than anywhere, but there's nobody there to see them. Just like North Dakota. Did I just take a shot at those two wonderful states? It's comedy, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy. So anyway, that's really interesting. But what strikes me is the inferred credibility, ladies and gentlemen. And then what do they ended up with, ladies and gentlemen? They ended up with President Jimmy Carter, who everybody loves. Jimmy Carter, next to the Jesus character, might have been the greatest person ever to walk with 10 toes. Everybody loves Jimmy Carter. And he himself has claimed to see a self-illuminated, multicolored UFO while giving a speech at the Lions Club in Leary, Georgia. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? So why all of the implied credibility all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden did it go from kooks reporting UFOs to now these people that are wise and smart and brilliant, and people that report UFOs are some of the most smartest people on planet Earth? Why did that happen, and how did that happen, ladies and gentlemen? The UFOs are being pumped up, and they're being pumped up in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is presenting UFOs as credible, and those that report UFOs as credible. It's almost as if the mainstream media is trying to make ufology great again. The mainstream media, make ufology great again. The mainstream media is trying to pump up, obviously, UFOs. And my question is, why? The UFO is trying to pump up, the mainstream media is trying to pump up UFOs. And a lot of people from MUFON and a lot of people like UFOs are sexually aroused right now because, soft disclosure, did you see what I did with that? That's funny. It's right around the corner, but it's the mainstream media that's promoting this like never before. And what do we know for sure about the mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen? What do we know for sure about the mainstream media? They lie. They don't tell the truth. They distract. They are a propaganda arm of the controllers of this fear and guilt blood matrix. Fear and guilt blood magic control matrix. Hard to get that out sometimes. That's what we know about them. So what do we therefore know about any and every agenda that they push? Ooh, Tracy hits it on the nose. The mainstream media is about pushing fear. I know that you're sexually aroused if you're from MUFON right now. I know that most of you can't even get erections anymore that aren't members of the 40,000 subscribers to this channel. But all of a sudden you love UFOs so much that you're sexually aroused because the mainstream media is pushing UFOs. Hold on. Well, don't literally hold on, but take a deep breath. Let me say that. Should we be celebrating pending disclosure? Or should we be, don't you hate it when you fold a paper and you can't read it? Should we be celebrating pending disclosure, or should we be alerted to pending deception? We want disclosure so badly that we're ripe for deception. I'm not, oh, Jeff, you're a contrarian. Well, you have to be a contrarian. And see, Chapstick is going, he's going off. Listen, all I'm saying is this. Let's talk about what we know. We know that the mainstream media are liars. We know that fake news is fake news. And we know that up until very, very recently, fake news has been telling us we're stupid, we're crazy, our mamas dress us funny, we're weirdos because we believe in UFOs. But all of a sudden, the liars are saying this might be true. So when liars say this might be true, what does a smart person do? When the mainstream media that we know are liars, propagandists that don't have our best interests at heart, that live and subsist on fear, when they start saying something's credible, reliable, what does they, I don't even want to go there. I just want to leave it to you. We know the mainstream media is the liars. And now the mainstream media is saying that UFOs are credible. What should our response be? Should we celebrate that, oh, finally, the mainstream media is waking up. Oh, finally, the mainstream media is going to admit the truth. They're so afraid of MUFON and they're so afraid of Giorgio that now they're going to tell the truth. You could believe that. You could. You could believe that. You could believe that. But what does it really mean? And let's start with this question, ladies and gentlemen. What are these UFOs that we are seeing? What are these UFOs that we're seeing? Interesting that most of them, a lot of them, are coming out of water. And just because we see a UFO, we automatically think it's from Alpha Centauri. All of a sudden, we see a UFO and we think it must have come out of a crack on Uranus. I couldn't make the show without at least one of those Uranus cracks. He said the crack of Uranus. What are they? Do you know that 70% of this earth is covered with water? And that we've never, ever, 70% of the earth is covered with water. Water always finds its level. That's interesting, but we're not here to talk about that. 70% of this earth is covered with water. And we haven't explored any of it. And why is NASA spending, what do they get, 42 million a day or something? Why are they spending their billions and billions of dollars of budget searching outer space when we haven't even searched our own damn space? Don't you think that our dollars would be much better spent if we were searching out our own planet first? I mean, before you go, I mean, even people like us understand that before you go outside to try to find a good place and hide and seek, you exhaust all the good places on the inside. Why haven't we explored our oceans? Maybe somebody doesn't want us exploring our oceans. Why haven't we explored beneath our ground? Or maybe somebody doesn't want us searching beneath our ground. And what if, as Admiral Byrd said, there's land beyond Antarctica? Why aren't we searching that? Because maybe people don't want us thinking about that. I caught a little bit of a live podcast from Jenny Moonstone, and she said that her postulation was that in order to go out, you got to go in, and that if there is an outer space, its entrance is through our oceans. It was interesting, and it made me think. So just because we see all these things doesn't mean they're from outer space. And why would the mainstream media be wanting us to believe that these things are from outer space? These are the questions we should ask ourselves. Why does the mainstream media all of a sudden want us to believe that UFOs are real? Why does the mainstream media want us to believe that UFOs are traveling from great distances to see us here on planet Earth? Why does the mainstream media want us looking out instead of looking in? Why do they want us looking up instead of looking down to the core of our beings and the core of our planet? Why? Honestly, though, Jeff, most mainstream still say we're crazy. Yeah, but no mainstream ever said that we weren't until now, until 2019. All of a sudden now, we're talking about UFOs like they're real. We're talking about UFO research like it's legitimate. We're talking about UFO explorers like they're actually really explorers and legitimate. They're legitimizing us. And I don't think they're legitimizing us because they're finally giving us our due. I don't think they're legitimizing us because they're finally recognizing our brilliance. I don't think that they're legitimizing us because they finally decided that they're going to tell the truth. They're still lying liars that lie. And when all the liars are telling you that something's true, I know what I am going to do. I'm not about to get all aroused by soft disclosure. I'm going to say, why are they doing this and why are they doing this now? Why do they want me to believe in UFOs? Why do they want me to believe that there's craft that are coming to this earth? Why do they want me to believe that it's credible? We've shown you video. We've shown you pictures. The Navy believes. The Pentagon believes. Even Jimmy Carter walks on water without getting his socks wet believes. Everybody believes. And there was a kind of a throwaway item in the news that was in the news the same day as this article about UFOs. And I know that some of you are mad at me right now. Jeff, this is soft disclosure, and we've been waiting for this, and now you're making us feel stupid for this. I'm not making you feel anything. I'm pointing out facts. And if fact A leads to fact B, and it leads to a tear in the corner of your eye, don't blame me. It's facts, and facts can be stubborn things. Too bad that you're not more stubborn. Too bad you're not more hard to convince. Too bad you're not more of a researcher. Too bad you're not more of an objective mind. Oh, but that's right. You believe in the Jesus fairy in the sky who's got a great place for you after you die, but he's going to use you like a cheap whore between now and then. And I shouldn't say that because that's not very fair to cheap whores. But there was a throwaway item in the news on the same day that the UFO story came out. And the story was, Jews are now praying at the Temple Mount. Jews are now praying at the Temple Mount. And several things about this caught my attention. Number one, the Jews went up to the Temple Mount, the Mosque of Omar, and they were praying. They were praying. And they were praying unobtrusively. They were praying quietly. They were praying by themselves off to the side. And if you know anything about Jewish prayer, it is not unobtrusive. It is not quiet. It is not polite. It is like a show. It is, Hebrew everywhere. But they were kind of off to the side, being very unobtrusive. Thank you so much, Muslims, for letting us pray on the Temple Mount. And the Muslims that usually, if any non-Muslim religious activity is taking place on the Temple Mount, they throw them out. They get them the hell out of there. But the Muslims were allowing the Jews to pray on the Temple Mount. They were looking the other way. They were looking the other way. The Jews that are normally, all that stuff, you know how it goes. They were very quietly, very quietly to themselves. The Muslims that usually, you go now. That's kind of a Chinese restaurant thing, but soup Nazi. You go now. No soup for you. No prayer for you. That's the right analogy. And keeping the faith says, why? Why would the Jews who never compromise be willing to compromise on the Temple Mount? Why would the Muslims who are never willing to compromise be compromising on the Temple Mount? And could there be a relationship to compromise on the Temple Mount and the mainstream, lamestream, lying media trying to convince us that UFOs are real and they're from other places? And could you connect that to the fact that that's another reason why President Trump is eviscerating the national media? A lot of things that you can connect. And as Les says, he's right. Cheap whores need love too. What if, let me just say this, prophecy's history. Nothing that ever happens from now on can be a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, because biblical prophecy is over, done, finished. But there is such a thing called scripted prophecy, which is written by people that run and control the mainstream media. And their scripted prophecy would love to see a temple, a Jewish temple on the mount where the Mosque of Omar now stands. And they would love to see a Christian shrine on the Temple Mount where the Mosque of Omar now stands. And all of a sudden we got Jews compromising. We got Muslims compromising. We got them talking about UFOs being real and coming from other places. It could be, ladies and gentlemen, it can't be that they're telling the truth. It can't be that they're disclosing. It can't be that all of a sudden liars have stopped lying. Liars will always lie. What are they lying about, and what are they trying to keep us from seeing and understanding and taking in? They want to have, they have been forced to accept through compromise. The Jews know they're not going to get rid of that mosque. They're not going to get that Temple Mount for their own. They're lucky to have what they have. And if they don't pipe down, they're not going to get to keep what they got over the next 4 to 8 years. Know when to say when, fellas. You've got all you're going to get. Pipe down and enjoy it, or you'll lose what you have. Don't let your overreach your grasp, or your grasp overreach. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it, or you'll be sorry. But they want now, bottom line, we want a place to pray on the Temple Mount. Okay. Islam, we want the Mosque of Omar on the Temple Mount. Okay. Christians, we want a place on the Temple Mount. Okay. Well, why don't we work it out where the Mosque of Omar stays, and we'll put a Jewish shrine, maybe a temple up there, and we'll put a Christian shrine up there too. So that all three of you Abrahamic inbreds can have your little fun and games up there. That's what they want. And what a better way to sell it to an entire world and get them to support it than to have these real ETs, these real UFOs come down and facilitate such an agreement. I'm just saying. The mainstream media says UFOs are real. The mainstream media says that UFO research is now credible. The mainstream media always lies, so they don't believe it. What are they trying to set up? They're trying to set you up. And those of you that are outside of the 40,000 that subscribe to this channel, if there's one thing you've proven over the last 2,000 years, is that you are stupid and you can be worked. Speaking of cheap whores, at least raise your prices. At least get a better deal. And I gave you a show last week, the week before. Dracula's got a better deal than Jesus. If you've got to sell your soul to somebody, at least get some more for it. You are selling low like a cheap whore. You're worth more. Go watch the Dracula and Jesus channel, the Dracula and Jesus video. What was that called, Tracy? It was called, well, I'm going to look that up because I think you guys need to see what that video was called, because those of you that are selling low, I'm just, I do have compassion for you. You ought to at least raise your prices. If you're going to be a whore, why be a cheap whore? If you're going to sell your soul to somebody, at least get a good price for it. And Jesus is not giving you a good price. Jesus is giving you a very low price for your soul. And if you're going to whore your soul out, at least get a good price. Let me share with you the name of this video so you can at least begin to see that there's other offers out there for your soul. Video manager. What was the name of that video? This is a public service. Please take it, give me a second to be of service to these individuals, because we're here to lovingly help everybody, even cheap soul whores. We're here to help. We're here to show love. We're here to show compassion. We're here to show understanding. And we are lovable guys and girls around here. Lovable guys and girls. Where did it go? Lovable guys and girls. Let me see. I'm going to put Dracula in my, I don't think Dracula was in the headline, though. You can search on the video, Dracula, on the channel. So I put Dracula in the search box and I hit search and boom, there it is. Jesus or Dracula, who has a better deal? Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. So that video, you could go and watch if you wanted to. Jesus or Dracula, and here's a picture of it, so you'll know where it is. It is on this channel, and as a public service announcement, if you're going to be a whore, don't be a cheap whore. Get as much as you can for your soul. And Dracula has a better deal than Jesus, and there might be somebody out there that's even got a better deal than Dracula. I don't know, but I'm here to help everybody. We're here to even make whores great again, or at least give whores some self-respect so they don't sell their soul for such a low and little amount. See, I love everybody, even Christian soul whores. I love you very much. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was pretty interesting. Took an interesting little turn there at the end. Let's go ahead and go to the chat room and let's see what awaits me in the chat room. This ought to be fun, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and cousins of all ages. What do we got here? I'm not mad at you or anyone else, says Chapstick. When they start that, they're mad at you. It's just like, you know, with all due respect, which means I have none for you. But anyway, I'm not mad at you or anyone else that doesn't believe this subject. But come on, too many mass sightings have happened. Chapstick, you're allowing your confirmation bias. You're allowing your cognitive dissonance to get into you. And I don't think you're usually this special of special. You don't usually come to the show on the short bus. But we're not saying, nobody says there's not UFOs. There are UFOs. I've seen UFOs. I believe there's UFOs. No one's saying there's not craft. There are craft. What we're saying is the MSM, the fake news media, says they are ETs from out there. And all I'm saying is, what if they're not extraterrestrials? What if they're interterrestrials? That's a part of the subject in this discussion. But the main part of this discussion, which your emotions have prevented you from receiving, is the mainstream media, who are liars, who always lie, are now telling you that UFOs are real and UFOs are credible. And the question is, why? Why are liars supposedly, who always lie, telling you something you want to hear, but it's still a lie? You've got to understand and ask why. You've got to discern that. And you got to get yourself out of your emotions. You're too much into ego. I love ego. Ego is a great servant, but it's a lousy master. So you've got to ask yourself, why are they doing this? Nobody's saying that there's no craft. Nobody's saying that there's not a legitimate manifestation of beings. Somebody's saying, why is the mainstream media pushing it? And somebody's saying, who are they and where are they from? That's it. That's it. Humans are naive by nature. You know what, Carrie? I don't know if I've seen you before. If I have and forgot, I'm sorry. If not, welcome. I used to think that Pentecostals were the most gullible people on earth. They're not. People that watch YouTube videos are, without a doubt, hands down. But I saw it on YouTube. Have you researched it? Oh yeah, watch these videos. Okay. Anyway, only people can make themselves feel stupid. Les Welch, that's a beautiful, powerful, real reality. Nobody ever makes you feel anything. She makes me so mad. No, she doesn't. She does things that you decide to get mad about. And you can decide not to get mad about him. He makes me so sad. No, he doesn't. He does things that you choose to get sad about when you could choose to either get glad about him or get rid of him. They make me want to fight. No, they don't. You make you want to fight in response to stimuli that they produce. Nobody makes you do anything but you. Take responsibility. Take responsibility. The last few years, activities increased. This goes without saying, says Jovanka. But who you know counts more. The praying group owns MSM. There's no doubt about that, Tracy. There's no doubt about that. Just like they want you to believe that we went to the moon. Now, I know I got a show with Wayne in the morning, and Wayne is very emotionally attached to the idea that we went to the moon. And I love Wayne, and Wayne and I disagree on more than one thing, but I'm sorry. That broke down piece of crap that they showed us going to the moon, there ain't no damn way we went to the moon and that broke down piece of crap. And I'm sorry, Wayne, but there ain't no way there's a camera angle attached to the curtain rods and the aluminum foil that could catch a guy walking down the ladder. First guy on the moon. Oh, except for the other guy that's there holding the camera. See, it's just like with what's that chapstick that was back there? Who said there's no craft? No, it's emotional. And Wayne has good reasons for being emotional about this. But he couldn't have been the first guy on the moon when there was a guy on the moon filming him. And did they leave Bruce Willis on the moon because we have pictures of the limb blasting off? Who's taking the pictures of the lunar module blasting off? Wayne, is there a string tied to a GoPro? And it just happened to be a good angle? Do they got a really, really long telescoping rod? He just said really, really long telescoping rod. Is there one with a camera on the end of it that we didn't see and it was secret? They left Bruce Willis on the freaking moon, and he's still there. That's how tough he is. And how come there's not enough room inside the lunar module for both of those guys to get dressed and come out of it? And that doesn't even include the cameraman. Well, one got dressed and one went out, and then so one got dressed, went out, opened the lunar module to the expanses of space, closed the door, and let the other guy get dressed because he was holding his breath the whole time. I'm just asking questions. They literally have done the measurements of a dude in a spacesuit. With a dude in one of those suits that they walk down the ladder in, there's not room for a dude in a suit and a dude in another suit to both get their dude butts out the door. Can't happen. It's impossible. There's not enough room. Jeff, are you saying we didn't go to the moon? I'm saying we didn't go to the moon in the thing they showed us they went to the moon in, and we didn't go to the moon the way they showed us we went to the moon. And no, I don't think that Bruce Willis is left on the moon or anybody else. Just don't think that's true. But you can shine something up there and it'll reflect off. Let's say you can shine something up on the moon and it'll reflect off and come back to you, a laser. Is the easiest explanation, let's use Occam's razor to talk about the lunar laser. See what I did with that? Is that we went to the moon and left it there the best explanation of why you can shoot a laser at the moon and it'll reflect back off of something? Or is a better explanation that there might be some naturally occurring formation on the moon that will reflect a laser? But, ladies and gentlemen, I am dedicated to the great work of enlightenment. I am dedicated, ladies and gentlemen, to trying to take it to the next level. I'm dedicated to being an investigator. I'm dedicated to doing what I got to do to get you information so you can make a decision on it. I'm so dedicated. I'm so dedicated, ladies and gentlemen, that I got this. This is how dedicated I am. That's a Nikon P1000, and you can zoom in on the moon like nobody's business. So I'm going to zoom in on the moon, and I'm going to find that little thing that supposedly we left there so you can shoot with a laser and have it come back. And I'm going to see what it is for my damn self. More on that later. Am I committed to giving you information? Am I committed to giving you data? Yeah, I am. And I guarantee you, there's a lot of other things that I could spend $1,000 on than this. There's a lot of other things that I'd rather spend $1,000 on than this. So why'd you spend it on that? Because I'm dedicated to this work and this research and giving you information that you can use. Because it's a lot easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And one thing's for sure, you that watch this show, you got no excuses because we are bringing you the data, cousins. Boom. Smile for the camera, cousins, because here it comes. Whoops. Anyway. You know, I'm trying to say, can I hook that P1000 up to the drone? No, I can't. Could you imagine if that thing crashed? That's a lot of money crashing. And I don't got a lot of money. My dad always said that he wished he'd been born rich instead of so good looking. Dad, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. But anyway. Let's see. Chapstick says, I need you to dig. I think you need more info. Dig deeper. Really? Okay. Let's see. What if another country's government wants to disclose that theirs is and always was UFOs, so our government is nervous because they've been lying to us? It's a possibility. That's a possibility. When you hear Hillary Clinton talking about UFOs, you know something's up. Yep, I'm with you. I am with you. Did you see Hillary Clinton? I guess she's had a facelift, or it could be her robot got redone. Yeah, maybe the Hillary bot has been redone. You know, I would love to see her run again against Trump. But have you noticed that they're trying to resuscitate Joe Biden? All of a sudden, I saw an article on CNN that really actually made me LOL. It said, and I look at CNN in the mornings to see what's going on, see what the lie du jour is. And the headline was, how Biden got his groove back. I'm like, Biden got his groove back? Oh, man. But how funny will it be if I was Trump, I wouldn't do a debate with any of these idiots. He's the president. He doesn't need to debate him. They've treated him with disrespect. I wouldn't debate him. I'd stay home and go to bed with my supermodel wife and maybe some hot oil and, but anyway, we won't go into that, but I wouldn't debate them. Why debate them? It's a waste of time. Anyway, there's only one reason I can think of as to why the MSM would say there's ETs, and that's there's something for them to profit on. That's a very optimistic reason, Big Teddy Smooth. And I think you're right. I think it's that they can't. Yeah, I agree with you. They can profit on. I just got done with Jeff's video on He Who Shall Not Be Named on the topic of Israel and the Palestinians. Great video. Thank you. I don't remember it, but thank you. Dude, you've done 2,500 plus videos. You're not going to remember every one of them. And right on time, Tracy Dyer says, making horrors great again. Because in my head, I didn't say it out loud, but I said, I was thinking if you've been with 2,500 women, you would never remember them all. But I haven't, and I won't. But yeah, I don't remember them. But thank you, Jack, for that. And thank you, Tracy, for getting me in trouble. Making horrors great again. That's what we're here for. Whores deserve to be great too. I don't care if you're a whore, but why be a cheap whore? Come on, man. You're better than that. There's always somebody looking for a cheap whore. That's true. But I'm telling you, if you're going to sell your soul, get a better deal. Billy Zig says, Billy Zig, I got your book, bro. I don't know why you sent me that book. That's a good damn book. You should come on the channel and talk about that book, because that book has got me thinking. That's one of the reasons I bought that I was going to say T1000 like Terminator. I'll be back. No, it's a P1000. Billy Zig wrote a book called The Elusive Curve. It's a really good book. You should come on the channel, Billy. Email me. I don't know how you found my address, but email me at Gotham, like in Batman, or Gotham, strangely enough. Gotham Ltd, as in limited, at gmail.com. And no, I won't tell you why my email used to be Gotham Ltd at gmail.com, but it still is. So send me there. Billy Zig says, I reckon the extraterrestrials come from other land that they're hiding from us, possibly beyond Antarctica. It's possible. Admiral Byrd saw it and went on TV and told people about it. That's interesting. Didn't see much of Admiral Byrd after that. Raise your bar, whore. Oh, my. Michelle Cannon-Free says we should start a whore bidding war. Listen, whores need love too. Don't be a cheap whore. A whore bar. It was Dracula or Jesus. Thank you. Oh, I'm not even going to read that, Scotty. A horse. Why can't we have whores with dignity? I agree with that. And since we're on the subject of whores, I might as well get myself in big trouble, because I think that, what am I going to say this? I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that I believe, speaking of sexual professionals, that there might actually be a place in this world for sexual professionals, like the old temple prostitutes, that know how to use and work with sex magic and sex energy, and that can help some of these people out. And Christians are so used to going to whores anyway and sneaking around. You might as well get some good out of it. And with that, Joan Rivers tonight, 7 p.m. God damn it. And I said it. I forgot to set my new timer, and I didn't do any of my sponsors. Anyway, so that's the Whores with Dignity. It's okay to be a little lazy, but not cheap. I agree, Lisa. I agree. Here comes the but. Can we talk? What did I do? Let's see. This is one of the best podcasts of all time. Thank you, Susan. Unidentified flying objects. You just don't know what they are. It could be a plastic bag caught in the wind. It could. Let's see. Are we quantum multidimensional beings? Asked Val Stover. Wow, that's a really, really intelligent question. I don't know. You have a super ego, Jeff. Why, thank you. Maria says, in all capitals, so it's got to be really important. Their prophecy is coming as they are speaking it with the words, the sheep. It's not what they think. Jesus, it's the one. On that day, it's become law. No more male or female. We are one. Delete. Wow. Number one, don't use all caps. Number two, string a real sentence together. And number three, try to use some diction that people that don't speak in tongues can understand. Let's see. Billy Zig says they've been pushing a narrative, and that's when you know that what they're saying is BS. That's kind of it is BS, Billy. We just got to figure out what kind of BS it is. what kind of BS it is. Keeping the Faith says they're setting us up for the next deception. I agree. Now I feel really bad because Carrie told me she met me at LeakCon. Carrie, in my defense, I meet a lot of people. A lot of people. And I got so much going on up here that my RAM, I just delete it. I don't have room, any more data capacity. So I'm sorry that I met you at LeakCon and didn't remember. Let's see if I can see you from your picture, if I remember you. I do remember you. I'm sorry, but I do remember you. And yeah, it was nice to meet you. So what else we got here? What else we got here? Question every single thing the MSM brings. Absolutely, 100%. Joe Atwell was great last week. Joe Atwell's great every week. Any week. If it's not human, what's coming? Yep, you choose your responses. I researched for 6 hours yesterday. That's 12 videos straight. KTM says Jeff is one of a kind. Thank whatever you think is holy for that. Whatever you did with whatever you think is holy. Jeff's channel is my favorite. Thank you, Ryan. What else we got? It's easier to blame third parties. Yes, it is. Tracy says it's held together with duct tape. The Jiffy Pop rocket ship. Yep. The spacesuits had zippers and Velcros. Because of course they did. I didn't see that, but you went, Jeff, to see the rocket they took to the moon. I did go see it. I'm a researcher, man. I'm a researcher. Come on. It was Gorilla Tape. It wasn't duct tape. Come on. Chapstick doesn't believe in the moon landings either. The Vatican is Nero's circus. Yeah, that was just amazing stuff. And I'm ready to get into that. Tang is probably the best thing to come out of NASA. Oh, dude, Tang is really, really good stuff. And we're not being dirty. Tang was a drink. You mix it up into the water and you stir it up. It's orange Tang. It's really, really good. Really, really good. No one even thought who's filming it. Yeah, I'm like, they're taking off. Who the hell got left behind? Home Alone, right? On the Moon Alone. It's a new series. And Macaulay Culkin looks like he's been on the moon alone, but I shouldn't be on a brother when he's down like that. Let's see. The phone call. Richard Nixon on the phone with the moon. At least he wasn't like Obama. You remember that dummy? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And he's got the damn part where the cord connects to his ear and he's talking in the ear part. Yeah. Number one, Obama was not the brightest bulb on the tree. And number two, ain't he got nobody that checks pictures before they get published? Come on, guys. Billy Zig did the laser experiment in 1962, 7 years before they supposedly went there. So in effect, you don't need a reflector to bounce a signal off the moon. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Is it a certain spot you got to hit, or can you just bounce a signal off the moon, period? And if they did it in 1962, that's curious. That's curious because they didn't go there until 69, supposedly. Supposedly. It was recently reported that we found sugar and amino acids on a meteorite. Was it a fat meteorite? We're all against each other. They're feeding on our energy. Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. Where did the moon dune buggy fit? That's another thing, Jay Armstrong. It didn't fit within the dimensions on the blueprints. It didn't fit. Somebody said that was just on a space trailer. It was on a space trailer. Let's see. No burn marks under the rocket boosters. They just add up. They just add up. What do you have to say about those strange sounds in the sky? I've never heard one of them, so nothing. Nothing. Let's go to the moon. Raid Area 50, forget 51. The moon is hollow. America's occupied everything that they've conquered, yet they abandoned the moon and never return. Interesting point. Interesting point. I'm more interested in why there's no blast crater. Good point. Why did they say the moon rang like a bell? But that would have meant they actually had to land on a KTM. So anyway, that's an interesting point. Let's see. The moon is I think that means reflective. The Planet X guy watched Caesar's Messiah and agreed with it. I doubt that, Drawer Schmiel. Drawer Schmuel. Because the Planet X guy is a retard. And can I be on record for saying that a guy who gets cut from the NFL for calling a fan that attacked him a retard, that's retarded. That's my point. It's okay for me to take an in-depth look at my experiences. Okay, good. Is the moon real or a simulator? I don't know. I think it's 250, Kenny, the zoom. You're the man. Show me the cheese on the moon. I'll do my best. Please stop mentioning that idiot from that channel. Let's see. Check out Bruce Sees All channel. I've heard that's good. Cynthia, I think, watches him. Like Biden never had a groove. Let's see. Rallies work better. Yeah. Why would you go to a damn debate when you could do a rally? Oh, brilliant, Tracy. Brilliant. Hot oil. I guess it doesn't have to be hot, because friction will warm it up pretty quick. But anyway, moving right along. I don't know if we want to spend the rest of the time to go through all this. Let's see. Crow 777 was on this show. They just ran Hillary through Earl Shives, gave her a new paint job. Let's see. Bruce Sees All. Yep, I heard he was good. What else we got here? The unraveling of Jesus is the most profound event of our time. Yeah, he's fake. No doubt about it. Bruce Lee was murdered because he released an ancient Chinese map that shows the continents beyond the ice wall. Emerald Eagle, I would love to see some documentation on that. If you got any documentation, I'll even take a YouTube channel. If you have anything that I could research on that, I would love to see that. Bruce Lee killed because he released an ancient Chinese secret, and it was not about laundry. It was about the Chinese map that shows continents beyond the ice wall. That I'd love to see. And it's pronounced huas, not whores. Okay. Good point. Jeffrey, did you look at the shot I got? I don't know. Jeffrey, we're going to be timed out. I don't know what that means either. I manage IT and web for Tinfoil Hat Podcast, and I've been a giant fan since you've done his show. You've completely changed the way I look at things. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. And please get in Sam's ear and get him to at least ask Joe Rogan to have Joseph Atwell on the show. I'm not even trying to get me on Joe Rogan Experience, even though I'd be a great guest, but let's get Joe Atwell on the Joe Rogan Experience. Richard, get in Sam's ear. Bug him. And I appreciate Sam. I'm glad that you guys are back and up and running. And tell Sam anytime he wants to come on this show, or if he wants to have me come back, I am there for him. But let's get Atwell on JRE. That would be one of the epic shows of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I love being female. Good for you, Susan. Jeff's gone out on a limb for us. I appreciate it. Maybe Epstein knew about the goddess sex. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Never had hot tang. Big Teddy Smooth. Are you messing with me? Big Teddy Smooth says, have you ever had hot tang? Hot tang. Big Teddy, are you messing with me? He says it's better than tea, but tang is like orangey stuff. I didn't know that you could have hot tang, but I've had like hot apple cider, like tea, but way better. Hot tang. Teddy, if I can find me some tang, I'm going to try some tang. And if you can have tang, why not have hot tang? I love it. That is funny. I have eaten Tang by the spoonful as well. It's meant to be mixed with water, but I like it. I don't like it. What is this? That's a little TMI, TT, but hey, you go, girl. Go, girl. I used to eat the Tang. Yeah, a lot of Tang eaters in here. A lot of Tang eaters in here. Space food sticks. I remember those space food sticks. That's right, man. He's not lying. My friend and I saw one. It was a crystal clear craft. They're cloaked with clouds. Nice to see you, Anne-Marie. They are some scientists who think the moon is frozen plasma. Interesting. I don't get that. But anyway, hot Tang, a Southern drink. I don't know. My mom has a recipe with Tang and Nestea and Red Hots that you drank hot. Wow. I'll take your word for it, Teddy. Cynthia, there's no damn way that you have had Nestea Red Hots, Tang Nestea and Red Hots. Tracy says Cynthia says she's had that. I question that one. I need to see some documentation on that. No, I don't. I believe you, sweetie. That's not worth fighting over. She said, "Oh, I never had Tang, Nestea, and Red Hots." Well, you never had no dinner today either. But anyway, Tang twins sounds kind of good, actually. Somebody says, when your Tang has got taint, you know you're in trouble. I knew it was coming, Alan. I knew it was coming. Les says, if you don't like Tang, there's something wrong with you. Cynthia says, has two. Karen thinks it's yummy. So we started out talking about UFOs and we ended up talking about Tang. Wow, that's just the way it goes around here, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight at 7 p.m. I was waiting for somebody to do that T-boom. It wasn't going to be me. Tonight at 7 p.m., I'm going to welcome the one, the only, the immortal Joan Rivers to the the Dead Comics Society. Robert's bad. To the Dead Comics Society. I've already had some little conversation with her, and she is very, very funny. I can't wait to talk with her, and I think you will enjoy it. 7 p.m. Central tonight. The one, the only, Joan Rivers. Can we talk? Yes, we can, Miss Rivers. I look forward to seeing you here tonight. Shell's never heard of Tang. Shell, I'll bet you're less than 25 years old. Just going out on a limb. Chat dissolved like Tang crystals. Absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. We appreciate you for being here. We are here to help you unindoctrinate yourself, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. And we want you to believe you're not. Oh, okay. We want you to believe and know that you're divine, you're sovereign, and you're free. Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down on your way out. Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. See you, KT, Emma. And we'll see you all back here again at 7 p.m. Central Time when we interview Miss Joan Rivers. And I'm going to ask Joan Rivers if she ever had hot Tang. And we'll see what she has to say. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, Fight Club's first rule was don't talk about Fight Club. Well, this is Cousins Club. We want you to tell everybody about it. We're the last generation of real humans. We can win today and write a better tomorrow. The world is not bad and getting worse. It's good and getting better. And we are here to make damn sure it does, because we are in the world improving business, and Cousins right now, that business is a booming. So let's get busy.